Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm a big fan of Michael Bay action movies. They're dumb and loud and rely on way too many explosions, but they're really fun to watch. You don't watch his movies for character development or deep and insightful storytelling. You watch them to turn your brain off for 90 minutes and see how many unrealistic action pieces can fit into a single film. That's why the Transformers franchise has been so successful. It's everyone's dirty little secret. They'll never admit to being a fan of the movies, but they've still grossed nearly $1.6 billion between 6 movies. Today, though, I want to talk about one in particular, Dark of the Moon. I want to address that nagging feeling that I'm sure everyone got while watching the third movie in the Transformers franchise, and specifically the questions we had revolving around one of the characters. Where's Mikaela? Who is Carly? Where did she come from? And why she just didn't feel quite right. Now, no offense to Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. She's a great model, and this was her first role in a feature film, and the only one with any significant characterization or even dialogue. It wasn't a terrible first outing, but this video isn't about her acting or portrayal of the character. It's about the fact that her character shouldn't have even existed. Her addition into this one was a last-minute change. Her character was originally meant for another actress, Megan Fox. Carly was supposed to be Mikaela Barnes, but due to the well-known conflict between Megan and Michael Bay, she was recast late in the process. So late, in fact, that the writers didn't even have time to rewrite the script for a new character. For the most part, if you just reimagine Carly's scenes with Megan's character, the movie makes a lot more sense. And therein lies the problem. Carly is a stranger in her own story. We're confused by her presence from her first frames in the movie. When we follow her up the stairs, we're expecting Mikaela, and we're left wondering who is this new girl Sam is with. And we're also never given a reason for why the relationship we spent the last 2 movies caring about suddenly ended. Sam's just moved on. And I'm not even going to go into how or why Carly moved from working in the British Embassy to working with Dylan. I'm sure the White House scene was just something added to explain how they met. But Carly's job with Dylan is one of those things the filmmakers didn't even bother trying to change. It was clearly made for Mikaela. The curator for a billionaire's car collection would be her dream come true, and her traveling to races with him would have been so much more than just a jealousy ploy, which is what it felt like with Carly. Mikaela wouldn't have even returned so much as a flirtatious glance back his way. She would have only been there for the cars, which brings up my next point. Carly's aversion to selling the car her boss gifted her for a house was a little bit weak. She just says, it's a nice car. But if you put Mikaela in her shoes, the reasoning would have been much more solid. Mikaela is a gearhead. She loves cars. Even when she used to live in a trailer park, cars were what she cared about. She wouldn't want to sell the car because she cares more about cars than she does about where she lives. And that would have been a great source of tension between the two of them, even if it only lasted one scene. It would have been much better than what we got. And speaking of houses, the loft where Sam and Carly were staying was pretty nice already. It was a huge space, with a grand staircase, a balcony, lots of rooms for pets. They even had a freight elevator and room inside for a fully grown transformer. Had this place been downsized, it would have made his plea for a house more compelling, especially if it was with Mikaela. In their interaction with director mirroring at Nest, Carly is simply brushed off by her,
Who's she?
She's my girlfriend.
What is this, like a date?
but Mikaela would have been almost as respected as Sam. But where you really feel the disconnect is when Carly calls Sam a hero in the scene.
He's a hero.
It's a nice gesture, but it feels more like adoration when she says it. Remember, she's only heard of Sam's actions after the fact. Mikaela, on the other hand, actually experienced all of it firsthand by his side. When Barricade first came after him in the first movie, she was there. She saw the fight between Autobots and Decepticons while avoiding getting crushed like ants. She had visited Sector 7 and seen Megatron at the Hoover Dam, and she was a key part in the big battle outside of the Hoover Dam at the end of the first movie. She even laid over Sam's dead body in Egypt. Mikaela knew everything Sam had done and sacrificed because she was there. Furthermore, she knew exactly what would have happened had he not sacrificed. That same line of dialogue would have meant so much more coming from Mikaela's mouth because she knew the lengths Sam had gone through to save the world. Twice. I understand that Carly comes from a military background and had even lost her brother in combat, but that doesn't give her enough experience to just be around the Autobots as if she'd known them for years. But Mikaela would. She would have lived with them, helped fix them, and fought with them. She would have even known members of Nest, like Linux and even Epps. Carly had only had real experience with Autobots no bigger than a small dog. She should have been in total awe when first arriving at Nest, and especially during her first encounter with the Decepticon leader. Carly's confrontation with Megatron, while important and powerful, was completely out of character, at least for what we know about her. Earlier in the movie, she was kidnapped by a Decepticon and shot at by another. She had just jumped from a skyscraper balcony and crashed into the streets on an alien spacecraft. There was a war raging in the streets, and from everything we've been shown or told about Carly, she should have been cowering behind a car or building, hiding from the action. But Mikaela's been there before. In fact, she's been in this exact circumstance before, up close and personal with a wounded Bumblebee. She's also stared down Decepticons as well. She would have had no problem walking up to Megatron and pissing him off, no matter how wounded he may have been. And then there's the ending with Bumblebee in the rings. Bumblebee would have undoubtedly been on Team Mikaela. He was the one who brought her and Sam together, and even had somewhat of a bond with Mikaela. And let's not forget that it was Mikaela who risked her own life to help save him in the first movie with the tow truck. Bumblebee would have still helped save Carly because Sam asked him to. It's his connection with Sam that drives him. No pun intended. Carly just happened to mean something to Sam, so he allows it. But Bumblebee would have been magnitudes more invested in Sam and Mikaela's relationship than this new girl he's presumably only met a handful of times. And he definitely wouldn't be suggesting a proposal just because she survived a single battle. This is another example of where the scene was better suited for Mikaela. I didn't hate the role of Carly or Rosie's part in the film. I just couldn't help but feel the awkwardness in what was clearly a role meant for Megan Fox. Just imagine how much better this movie would have been with Mikaela in it and we had been able to finish off her character arc with Sam.
I'll drive, you shoot!
Thank you guys for making it this far. Please be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more movie analysis like this one. If you've got something you'd like to add or any kind of response, the comment section is always open for discussion. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a great day and be sure to watch a great movie. Bye.